right now at 6. Digging out of San Jose's housing crisis and boosting Bart in the process.
We've needed workforce housing in this valley for decades.
A milestone in the city's efforts to build an urban village around the station at the end of the line. Plus, questions about the death of a former NFL star in Oakland police custody. What we're learning about an alleged home break-in right before. And commuters sound off on yet another morning disruption for Bart.
It took me about 40 minutes longer and I had to get off twice.
What caused the hours-long shutdown of the Trans Bay Tube? And later, it's a San Francisco landmark with a lot of history.
This hole was open and you could run around inside the fountain.
But some officials say it's a safety hazard.
It has to be fenced away so that folks are not injured.
We'll dive into the debate over what to do with the infamous fountain.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Good evening. It is a major step forward in addressing San Jose's housing crisis. A massive new development broke ground in northeast San Jose, right across from the Berryessa BART station. And that's not all they broke today. So this old industrial building coming down to make way for more than 700 new homes, many of them affordable. It is all part of a larger plan to transform the area around the station into the urban village. And they started today on the north side of the project in what will be known as the Ficino neighborhood that once housed a family trucking business. Arlen Ramirez was there as city leaders took the first swing at transforming this site.
Well, for the last 50 years, this property was a trucking company, then it was abandoned, and lately people broke into the buildings that are being demolished behind me to start an illegal pot farm. But now this faces a much different future. Hundreds and hundreds of homes will be built here, many of them for low-income families. With a hard hat on and hands at the controls, San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan kicked off the first phase of the massive project, demolition. In dramatic fashion, the mayor tore down the first of several old buildings on the 13-acre site in northeast San Jose.
40% of the units here will be affordable, which means we aren't just building housing for the lucky few at the highest echelons of the economy, but this will be a mixed income neighborhood, which is a great thing. Better outcomes for all the kids.
The project will bring more than 700 new homes to the area, a mix of single-family homes, condos, and apartments. It also includes ground floor retail and a public park, part of a new transit-oriented neighborhood designed to keep people close to jobs and transit.
The Bay Area is basically the most expensive construction market in the world. It teeters from being number one, number two. More than Tokyo, more than New York. So it's extremely hard to make these projects pencil and to find the capital to invest in them.
Despite those challenges, the project moved forward thanks in large part to federal subsidies for affordable housing.
We've needed workforce housing in this valley for decades, and so we're able to add 280 units through some subsidies from the federal government. So the cost of rent will be either 70% of market, 50% of market, or 30% of market. So it really makes a big deal so that people don't have to travel on our roads as far and they can live close to town.
The homes are just steps away from BART and major bus lines, part of what planners call a larger transit village.
We are meeting the housing demand. This will create ridership on the BART line, and those people will be able to take BART to their jobs in North San Jose and downtown.
The project is expected to be complete in 2 years, delivering homes and hope to hundreds of families.
Len tells us there will eventually be more than 4,000 housing units around the Berryessa BART station, according to the city's plans. All right, we are getting new details on the death of former NFL running back Doug Martin in Oakland police custody. Sources told the Bay Area News Group Martin was wandering through backyards early Saturday morning, banging on the front doors of his neighbors' homes in the Oakland Hills before his death. Officers were called to a home on Ettrick Street around 4 a.m. near the Oakland Zoo. Kelsey Thord has more on the questions surrounding Martin's final moments and what police are revealing.
Oakland police have confirmed the man who died while in police custody over the weekend was former NFL running back Doug Martin. Police say Martin was involved in a break-in at a home in the Oakland Hills early Saturday morning. While police haven't given many details, here is what we know. OPD says there was a brief struggle as officers were attempting to detain Martin. After being taken into custody, they say he became unresponsive and was taken to a hospital where he later died. Oakland Mayor Barbara Lee released this statement, saying in part, quote, "We mourn the loss of Doug Martin, an Oaklander who had a distinguished NFL career and tragically passed away Saturday morning. Our condolences are with his family and loved ones." Martin played 7 seasons in the NFL, 6 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, before ending his career with the Raiders in 2019. On Sunday, the Buccaneers released this statement, saying they were deeply saddened to learn of Martin's death, adding he made a lasting impact on their franchise with his record-setting 2012 rookie season and multiple Pro Bowl selections. Martin was born in Oakland and went to high school in Stockton before playing college football at Boise State. He was selected as the 31st overall pick of the 2012 NFL Draft. The neighborhood where the break-in happened was quiet on Monday. Police did not say exactly where it happened, but a house on the same block is listed as being owned by family of Martin. And when we walked up to the house to talk with people inside, this sign reading "Do not knock" was taped to their front door. Meantime, the officers involved in the incident have been placed on paid leave, and an investigation is being conducted by OPD's homicide section as well as internal affairs. Civil rights attorney John Burris says that is all consistent with police policy.
That's standard. Now, that could take an indefinite period of time because it's an investigation, but it would not surprise me that that didn't take a period of time, 4 to 6 weeks, if not more.
Burris says in a high-profile case like this, it is not surprising police are being thorough.
I mean, to the extent that they have information, they probably are not willing to share that information with the public until they know more, until they can sort of get a better sense of who the person was, what the circumstances were, and to conduct some investigation without it being sort of tainted by other people's perspective.
Martin's family also issued a statement over the weekend saying the cause of his death is currently unconfirmed and asking for privacy as they grieve. A public hearing today over a plan to build more housing in San Francisco. Today, Supervisor Danny Sauter introduced changes to Mayor Lurie's upzoning plan. So the mayor's plan calls for taller buildings in the city's northern and western neighborhoods. Today at the Land Use and Transportation meeting, Supervisor Sauter proposed giving bonus square footage to projects that preserve historic storefronts and have businesses on their first floors. The mayor's plan is expected to add 36,000 new homes, but it is getting some pushback from people worried it will hurt the neighborhood.
A lot of people don't think this one-size-fits-all pays the proper respect to people and their culture.
The character of the neighborhood is not just the buildings, it's the people. And when you don't build housing, it means you push people out.
The supervisors didn't vote on the proposal at today's meeting. A final vote on the plan is not expected until late this year or early next year. Bart riders had their patience tested again this morning after a shutdown in the Trans Bay Tube, and it caused delays for hours. So according to Bart officials, starting just before 6 this morning, a Bart conductor heard a pop sound on the Trans Bay Tube and called it in. When an out-of-service train entered the tube in response, they saw smoke. So Bart suspended service on the red and green lines while they worked to correct the issue. Some Bart riders say they expect issues when they're riding Bart.
At this point, it's kind of regular, like I'm just used to it. When it works, it works. That's sort of how I treat it.
So Bart fully restored service around noon, but their spokesperson says that the company knows that commuters were frustrated.
We want to provide safe, reliable service. Most days we are able to do that. This is not one of those days. This has been a rough commute for Bart. We need to own that reality.
Bart announced that an insulator issue caused this morning's shutdown, similar to the issue that caused a shutdown on the Trans Bay Tube back in August. All right, still ahead here at 6. It did not shut down entire train lines, but this dangerous crash blocked traffic on a North Bay highway for more than 7 hours. Plus, we'll meet a San Francisco artist fighting to protect a controversial fountain. There it is. Continues to inspire her and her family to this day.
I'm really hoping, to be able to continue to pass that on to them.
And be careful at the beach. Zoe Mintz will join us to look at the coastal advisories and the rest of the forecast to start our week. All right, so take a look at this. A big rig caused a big roadblock in the North Bay. The truck overturned. This happening on Highway 29 near the Napa County, Lake County line. The crash happened around 5 a.m. on a sharp curve on the highway. Photos from CHP show the vehicle tipped on its side against some trees. Luckily, no one was hurt. The road was able to reopen just before 1 this afternoon. And fire crews in Half Moon Bay had their hands full this morning. They were able to get control of a house fire pretty quickly. But the real challenge was wrangling the homeowner's 11 missing cats. Fire officials say after some serious searching, they were able to find all of them safely. They have since been reunited with their family. So when the Vaillancourt Fountain was first built along the Embarcadero 54 years ago, it reflected the spirit of artistry in San Francisco. Well, now the city is considering destroying it. Our Kara St. Cyr spoke with a San Francisco native who believes the statue and its legacy should be preserved.
When Allegra Fisher sees Vaillancourt Fountain, the memories come flooding back.
This is around the age when I probably loved running in the fountain the most.
To her, the fountain is a symbol of San Francisco's deep connection to the arts.
We share such a love of San Francisco and a love of the arts in San Francisco, I think because of the time that I got to spend here with her as a child. And now I have a niece and nephew who will be growing up in San Francisco, and I'm really hoping, to be able to continue to pass that on to them.
That's why she sat through nearly 2 hours of public comment.
Hello, I'm Allegra Fisher.
Pleading with the Arts Commission to save it.
As an artist who continues to choose to make San Francisco home, I hope the Commission chooses to invest in public spaces that are unique and full of important art and architectural history.
A recent report mandated by the city showed that the fountain isn't ADA compliant. It also contains lead and asbestos. San Francisco Recreation and Parks estimates it'll cost $29 million to renovate.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Julian Lake.
The cost isn't worth it for Julian Lake, a spokesperson for the Bay Area Council.
It's no longer fun and interactive for children to play in and communities to engage in. It's now cordoned off and because of safety hazards has to be fenced away so that folks are not injured in interacting with the fountain itself.
While redevelopment plans for the plaza are being drawn, Lake wants the city to consider another structure in the fountain's place.
We also can make way for new inspiration.
But ultimately, the decision falls on the Arts Commission, who haven't voted on a decision yet.
Is it appropriate to have conversations with folk who are interested in raising money from the private sector for these kind of, preservation of the art?
I've been underneath those little stepping stones, but I also been on the building side of things where I realize, like, as soon as you touch anything, you can touch it, and then they're going to say you've got to make it ADA compliant, you've got to make the mechanical, electrical, and all the life safety systems up to code.
Allegra just wants the legacy of Vaillancourt to continue.
So this hole was open and you could run around inside the fountain.
For other kids to enjoy, as she did in her youth.
All right, another group that would be sad to see the fountain go, skateboarders. Vaillancourt has a long history as a popular skate spot in San Francisco. It has even been featured as something you can skate on in the popular Tony Hawk skateboard video games. So the estimated cost to remove and dispose of the fountain would be just over $2.5 million.
And we are looking at quite a lot of rain on the way, so enjoy the sunshine and warm weather while you can. I'll break down the details on that next incoming atmospheric river coming up in just a bit.
So here's a warning to us all. If you're headed to the coast, be careful. The National Weather Service announced a beach hazard statement. Strong rip currents and sneaker waves may be seen at Northern California beaches from the North Bay to Monterey County. So we're looking at the surf now at Pacifica Pier, and look at that as it's sunset. NWS says that though the water may look calm right now, it can produce powerful waves. So Zoe Mintz joining me now. Okay, yeah, if we look at that, it looks gorgeous.
It does. I mean, perfect for surfing, but
Sure.
if you're not safe about it, 10 to 20 foot waves, sneaker waves, and high rip currents, yeah, that's kind of a recipe for disaster.
Thus the name, sneaker waves. Be
yes.
careful.
So
Okay.
yeah, just make sure you're aware of
Yeah.
it. If you are planning on maybe having a picnic on the beach, just don't put your stuff too close to the water, because a sneaker wave is just a wave that you don't expect to come out, and it sneaks up on you and it will hit you and it will ruin your afternoon potentially. Right now though, all we're seeing is the storm system that's sitting well off to our north. This swirly whirl of cloud coverage, I like to call it. This is actually what's bringing us all of our high swells. This high northwesterly swell is going to stick around. What we're looking on the ground right now, these areas in green, that signifies the higher swells. There was there today. We might actually see it calm down a little bit Tuesday, but then by Wednesday, you'll notice even more areas of about 10 to 20 foot waves, which is why we do currently have those beach advisories in effect all across our coastal communities of the Bay Area all the way through Wednesday. We are expecting upwards of 10 to 20 foot waves, along with high sneaker wave potential and high rip currents. Again, that will stick around through the afternoon on Wednesday, just something to keep your eyes on. As we step out this evening, though, not all too much to keep our eyes on. In fact, if you look up at the sky, you can't really see anything. There's no clouds out there all across the Bay Area. I hope you all had the chance to soak up some sunshine and some warm temperatures. Today, it was a couple of degrees warmer than yesterday. Inland communities were in the low 80s. Right now, we're getting down into the mid to lower 70s. Coastal communities closer to the 60s. By tomorrow afternoon, will be very similar to today. We'll be seeing those high temperatures sitting a degree or two warmer than normal for this time of year, but it's really interesting to look at these colors. You notice how tomorrow they're those deeper and darker reds. Those signify the 80s and 70s, but then look at Wednesday. You'll notice a huge cool down Wednesday afternoon as widespread, about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than what we felt yesterday across those inland communities. And you might be wondering why. Well, it all has to do with the fact that that storm system is going to be heading our way. But before that, it's actually another area of cloud coverage, this low pressure system that's currently sitting in the Pacific. It's going to head up north across California, bring the potential for a few isolated showers, especially across our South Bay, but don't cancel any plans on Wednesday. It's mostly just going to be impacting us by bringing us cooler and cloudier conditions. Through Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, those temperatures are going to stay below average, but little to no potential for rain. It's not until overnight Friday and into Saturday that our atmospheric river will be moving across the Pacific Northwest, Northern California, and then the Bay Area. But look at what happens as it pushes over the Bay Area. The farther south it goes, the drier it gets. So we actually aren't expecting nearly as much moisture across our South Bay communities compared to our North Bay, as on again, off again showers are going to persist throughout the weekend of weather ahead of us. So keep that in mind for any plans that you may have this weekend. It's going to be a lot more active out there compared to what we felt this past weekend. So I really hope you soaked up some sunshine. And if you didn't today, you still have tomorrow. We still have one more day of sunny skies and above average temperatures before the potential for a little bit of rain heads our way Wednesday, and then the widespread rain into this upcoming weekend. As you can tell, the Pacific Northwest definitely going to be seeing the highest totals, but I wouldn't necessarily take note of these numbers anything too seriously. 1/4 of an inch in San Francisco, that's been going back and forth for the past several days, as our models are still pinpointing exactly what's going to happen. And still, we're about 5 to 7 days out. We're still looking at the trend right now. It's looking more likely that our North Bay communities are going to be seeing the highest of the rainfall totals. And hopefully by tomorrow and into Wednesday, we can pin down the exact totals, the exact timing, and exactly what you can expect this upcoming weekend. What we know right now is that it's going to be cooler through the later parts of the week. It's going to be cloudier. And by the time that we step out late Friday and into Saturday, that's when the rain will arrive. It's not going to be necessarily heavy, widespread rainfall, but it's going to be on again, off again rainfall that's going to stick around through the weekend. So keep that in mind for any plans. You might want to make them indoors, or at least plan for the potential of encountering some of that rain, and also plan for the potential of some cooler conditions as well all across the Bay Area. Those 60s are returning to the forecast. So Jules, I really hope you enjoyed this past weekend. Maybe got out with your horse, soak up some sunshine.
It was a perfect fall with that sun and all of that, and now it's going to change.
It's going to change.
That's okay.
But the leaves are changing too, and I'm loving it at this time of year.
All right, thank you. And when we come back, we're going to meet an Oakland father who is keeping his daughter's legacy alive by inspiring the entire city to celebrate peace. And here's a look at what's ahead on the CBS Evening News.
I'm Elizabeth Palmer in Paris, where police are hunting down brazen thieves who robbed France of some of its most precious crown jewels. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
All right, we want to head to Oakland now, where all week long the city is celebrating peace during its annual Love Life Week.
Oakland! Love life! Oakland! Love life! Hey, we loving life.
That's right. The city partners with the Love Life Foundation for this event, and that includes a candlelight vigil, community cleanup day, and youth summit. Love Life Week, it honors the legacy of Lois Lacey, who was murdered in 1997 at the age of 16. Her father says just months before, his daughter lost a friend, and it inspired her to help others.
And she said, "Daddy, I want to do something. I'm tired of seeing all these black kids dying in Oakland, and I've never been more prouder of an individual in my life."
Lois went on to become a conflict mediator at McClymonds High School before her death. Oakland adopted the motto, Oakland Love Life, in her honor. We're still more than 3 months out from Super Bowl 60 right here in the Bay Area, but we're learning more about the celebration. So today, the host committee announced the first in a series of concerts leading up to the big game.
Tennessee whiskey.
There's your hint. Country music star Chris Stapleton is headlining a show the night before the game, February 7th, at the Bill Graham Auditorium in San Francisco. The 11-time Grammy Award winner will perform with special guest Sierra Farrell. Tickets go on sale Friday. The host committee says it will announce more concerts at the same venue in the coming weeks, and we will certainly share them with you. CBS Evening News is next on KPIX. Local news always continues streaming on our streaming service, CBS News Bay Area. I'll see you back here in 30 minutes with more news at 7 o'clock, just for you.